All right, and we're back. You ever have one of those days? Yeah, we all do. So I went live for a minute ago, and the computer, the broadcast servers are unforgiving. Once you set that time, whether you are ready or not, they're rolling. So had to queue up some videos I want you guys to see. But thank you for bearing with me. And now let's talk about what we are going to talk about beforehand. So we were talking about the plane crash that happened in Mexico, I think 72 hours ago. Uh, our heart goes out to the family of that pilot who lost his life in this. But as you know, gender reveals are getting more and more extravagant. I've seen this particular kind before, but this one was done in Mexico. I'm not exactly sure what city in Mexico, but as the pilot flew over and released the smoke that was to tell whether it was going to be a boy or girl, his wing ripped off the body of the plane, and subsequently we're told that pilot didn't survive. We can kind of get here and we can kind of bring up the story view here. We can kind of see here over here as he's flying over, and his wing actually rips off, and then subsequently, it takes a dive and he crashes. But what I want to show you guys is the actual footage. And now notice the crowd, which I'm sure they weren't aware because nobody would really see that and be like, oh, well, I want you to notice the crowd's reaction to this here. Take a look. And all this time, I've been talking to you. Mike was muted. Shit. Okay. Woo! As I was saying, you ever have one of those days? Yeah, I'm having one today. Anyway, that gender reveal, as I was mentioning before, if you couldn't hear me, of course you couldn't. Mike was muted. That gender reveal is becoming more and more extravagant. And this particular gender reveal happened in Mexico. Our hearts go out to the pilot of that plane, whom, as he was releasing the smoke to show the sex of the baby to come, his wing ripped off of the fuselage of the body of the plane, and subsequently the plane crashed, and we're told he did not survive. That being said, if you noticed the response of the party goers, I don't think they realized the gravitas of the situation. So if we could play that again, I want you just to hear uh, their, their reaction. As the wing actually separates, people are still screaming. They done shut off the pink little cannon thing there. And some people even do it with the phone, and then they went back to, hey, hey, even realizing that the wing just separated. Well, maybe it was all part of the thing. Maybe that was all part of the thing. His rings separate from the fuselage, you know. But sometimes I think, I don't know. Is it just human nature? We get so caught up in what we're doing we don't focus on what's really happening around us. And I think that can be said for a number of things, not just this, but our hearts go out to the family of the pilot of that aircraft because we were told he didn't survive that. But I just thought how more elaborate are these gender reveals getting? It's almost like if somebody could, I'm sure they'd paint the moon pink or blue, to say, look, honey, look up at the sky and everything. I bet if somebody could, somebody would. Anyway, I want to talk next about Burning Man. This is a party that goes on, of course, every year in the Nevada desert, and it's notorious for people coming, letting go of their inhibitions, really just having a really good time. But as you guys know, Hurricane Hillary, I believe, which hit the Mexico peninsula and went up through Southern California. And at some parts, they said some areas were getting a year's worth of rain in one day. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. A year's worth of rain in one day. And so Burning Man, of course, was scheduled before Hurricane Hillary decided to wreak her havoc in the area. And so people were not just experiencing flooding, but were stuck in that encampment for a number of days. Now, why they couldn't leave, I don't know if bridges are washed. I've never been to Burning Man, so I don't know if bridges are washed out or what have you. But let's take a look at some of the things here with Burning Man. Oops, excuse me, let's get that one out there. And this is one of the festival goers with her water, because they said water was being rationed because they weren't being able to leave. You expected to be there for 3 days, and now you're going to be there for 7 or 8 days, but you only bought 3 days worth of water or whatever supplies they have. They're rationing them out, so you can see it looks like almost like one of those devastating areas in the South or a third world country. But let's take a look at the video. This video is courtesy of our friends at the BBC. Let's take a look at the video here for Burning Man. Take a look at this.
That's unique.
Yeah, it is.
Early entry to this festival was delayed because of the remnants of Hurricane Hillary. And now, after 24 hours of rain, it has been turned into a muddy morass, just as people were preparing to leave at the end of the Burning Man festival. That has left tens of thousands of people mired in mud. The organizers are urging people to conserve water, fuel, and of course food, because they could be stuck here for several days. The motto of Burning Man is radical self-reliance, and many people here are feeling that this is being put to the test right now in conditions that very few people here can remember for quite some time.
Wow. So that's like, okay, so that's what's going on in Nevada. Those people are still there. They're still there trying to get out, but I don't know exactly what the reasoning is, why they couldn't say, okay, you guys, festival's over, you can go. And yeah, so it's funny because this is the aftermath of that. So I just kind of wonder, as this was happening and the torrential downpour was happening, were people like, yo, we in the desert, look at all this mud, we need to leave? How many people decided, I'm just going to buckle in and I'm just going to stay, and once it's over, everything will be cool, because they say there's still thousands of people there, I'm sure it's not as many people that were there initially. Hopefully somebody saw, say, not the writing on the wall, but the mud on the ground, and said, I need to get the hell out of here. So we'll see. Now, Denzel Washington is back. Denzel Washington, of course, like a lot of our African American actors, just portrays the epitome of cool. I am a really big fan of the Equalizer franchise, 1, 2, and this is 3, and this is being labeled Equalizer: The Final Chapter. So this is actually Denzel Washington, I guess, his final version, where he basically has left everything behind. He is now retired to Italy, and he comes up into a small town, which he begins to really kind of bond with. And of course, the mafia comes in and is like, hey, this is the way we do things. Who do you think you are? And they didn't know. They asked the wrong question to the right person. So we have a clip here from our friends at 20th Century Fox. Let's take a look at The Equalizer 3, which actually came out, the movies, on the 1st of this month. But take a look at it.
9 seconds. That's what I'll give you to decide your fate. Ciao Roberto.
Roberto, tell me, what did you do back home?
Government work. I'm retired now. Because of these people, I'm beginning to understand real peace.
They see you as one of us now.
And I believe this is where I'm supposed to be.
This happens in many countries. The mafia. They're like cancer. No cure.
Whatever you and your friends do, do it somewhere else.
You learn English?
I'm preparing. Is that a Timex?
No, it's a movement.
You seem like a man who understands violence.
I like this place. You can't take that from me.
I can take anything I want.
Police found multiple dead bodies on that farm in Sicily. Did you kill him?
Do I look like a killer?
So that was my apologies. That was actually courtesy of our friends at Sony Pictures. That's the 20th Century Fox. That was the clip yesterday. Sony Pictures, my apologies. But that is a phenomenal movie. I can't wait to see it. You know, a lot of movies coming out now as we preview the movie The Creator, which is an AI flick that's coming out September 23rd, I believe. And this one, of course, just hit theaters September 1st, or August 30th. What is it? September 1st. And I said August 30th on the credits, but they're telling me September 1st. Anyway, these movies are only in theaters. You notice that there's a really big push to get people out of their homes and back in theaters. And I'll be honest, I might go see this one in the movies. I already said yesterday I was going to go see The Creator, the sci-fi flick, in the movies as well. But it's tough because when you get there, parking is usually free, unless you do some where you got to pay for parking. So that's a toss-up. But from what I understand, the movie theaters get 10% of the ticket sales, right? So 90% goes to the studio, but they get 100% of the concessions, which is why you buy a bucket of popcorn for $10, $12. Then you got to buy a large soda for $5 or $6. Then you buy some Raisinets for about $4 or $5. You know, you might get one free refill. Oh, you want a hot dog? That's another $4 to $5. You know what I'm saying? So you're obviously spending for one individual. He's probably spending upwards around $30, $40. And sometimes it's a hard sell, especially when I can sit at the house, put my popcorn in the microwave, get my drink, and sit in front of the TV. But these things they're saying are only in theaters. For now. I mean, eventually they're going to come on TV. Do you want to see them now or you want to wait? That's the question you got to ask yourself. What's the cost benefit? But for me, I'm going to go talk to somebody in finance and see if I can get a movie ticket and go see the movie. Wouldn't it be funny if you get there and they go, hey, you want to do this? We got the guy, you can talk to Joe. He's going to do a financial thing real quick. We're going to run, you get finance. And that way, how many people in your family? 5 people? It's going to be about $300. Okay. Would it be something if it gets to that point? Don't even talk about the dollar and the devaluation of it because hell, it might get to that point. But that's another episode. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This episode is sponsored, as always, by the Black Legacy Wealth Project. The Black Legacy Wealth Project is set on helping you achieve generational wealth and financial literacy. Check them out at blacklegacywealthproject.com. All right, until next time, you guys, I am David Watts, and you are you. Love each other. Have a great day. Enjoy this Labor Day. Don't do any labor if you can. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye now.